Hello, it's Mish here, and today I want to tell you about the routine that I follow that enabled me to lose over 6 stone, which is 40 kilograms, 80 plus pounds, thereabout, and keep it off. So at my heaviest, guys, I was well over 100 kilos. I was over 17 stone, all right? So I've lost a lot of weight, and a lot of the time people think that it's really difficult to lose weight, and it can be, or it can feel like it, but the trick is getting the right support and getting a routine and a system that works for you, because all you need to do is do little changes, small consistent changes maintained over a period of time, and over that time frame you end up with great, fantastic, huge results like 40 odd kilograms off. Okay, so this is what I want to talk to you today. What is my routine? Because it works for me, and who knows, it might work for you, eh? Okay, now the trick to this, and the trick to something, is you've got to make it sustainable. All right, so you will not be finding in amongst this conversation that I do anything that I hate. I certainly don't do hours and hours of cardio. That's no fun for anybody. I don't eat food I don't like. I only eat food that I love, okay? And I certainly don't do any of these crazy faddy things like drinking vinegar for fun, because it's not fun, or taking tablets. It's all just food and doing things that I enjoy. So let's get stuck into it, okay? The first thing that I did in changing my routine and helping me lose all my weight, right, was nailing my mornings. Now, I have always been, or had always been, a die-hard night owl. I was not a morning person at all, but a game changer for me was starting my day a little bit earlier. Now, the way that I started to feel better about that was just to reframe it in my mind and start to look at it as my time. I was living in a house with 3 children, a husband, some dogs, you know, very, very busy. I worked full time, all of this. It was a very busy house, okay? And actually, for me, getting up like an hour and a half before everybody else, bliss, an hour of me time, and seeing that time as me time really helped me to feel good about it, and it made that change sustainable. Okay, what do I do in that hour and a half of time? I always do 10 minutes of yoga. When I get up in the morning, I feel crunchy is probably the best word to describe how my joints feel first thing in the morning. So I do 10 minutes of yoga because it just kind of lubes me up a bit. Okay, it means I don't walk downstairs like a crab if I've done me yoga. The other thing that I do in that hour and a half of me time is things that I enjoy doing, a little bit of self-care. And for me, that is... Oh, I've forgotten what it is. What about... Oh, yeah, that's right. The other thing that I do in that morning, okay, that first hour, after I've done my yoga, I neck my first bottle of water. Now, I know that if I drink water regularly through the day, it stops me from snacking as much. It fills me up and it keeps me hydrated. And, you know, I'm over 50 now. I've got to look after the old skin and everything, yeah? So I start off early, though, because I've also had 3 children. And I find that if I start drinking the most of my water in the mornings, it means I'm up a few less times for a wee through the night, all right? So that's the other part of my morning, is look after my skin, look after my body by necking a bottle of water, okay? So that's the second thing. And the third thing that I do in my morning routine is I journal. I journal every morning now. Sometimes it's only a couple of minutes, sometimes it's a load of writing, but it gets all the random stuff out of my brain and onto paper. Sometimes it's about writing a to-do list for the day. Sometimes it's about having a little general whinge about things. Sometimes I just write 3 things that I need to be 3 things that I think of to be grateful for, because that sets me up in a positive day, sort of a positive frame of mind for the day. It really, really varies what I do in my journaling, okay? But that is my morning routine. Nailing the morning routine that works for you is fantastic, okay? Mm-hmm. The second thing that I needed to get to grips with in order to sort of sort out a routine that worked for me was getting my head around nutrition, getting my head around food. And like I say, a mama 3, busy house, planning was everything. So my routine came on a Sunday. Sunday was plan the meals for the week, look at the calendar, see what was booked in, what days were the kids at clubs, what days did I have plans in the evenings and stuff like that, and plan, and then shop as per the plan. This was so key, okay? I am essentially lazy. I believe in work smarter, not harder, okay? So a great thing for me was getting my breakfast and lunches consistent. So breakfast, porridge, weekend, bacon sandwich, lunchtime, salad with either crab sticks or cooked chicken, or soup and a roll. And to make it feel like a bit more of a treat, I would bake my bread. I would bake, you know the little packets you can get of really nice bread mix? I would just bake up one of them on a weekend. It'd make enough rolls for my soup for the week, and then it feels like a nice treat because I'm getting fresh baked bread. So that was my Sunday routine. Plan my meals for the week, book in the online shop as per the list, because honestly that is a game changer as well. And also do a bit of batch cooking. So do a little bit of batch cooking as well. So for me it was making bread to go with my soup. So that way every breakfast was sorted, every lunch was sorted, and I knew exactly what I was having for my evening meals every night of the week. And that was so helpful when you're really busy. Oopsie, let me scroll. The other part of the day-to-day routine was 3 bottles of these. So one in the morning, always one in the morning before I get out of bed, and while I'm doing my yoga. And then I would fill up, I had 2 more, and I still do, and I fill up the other 2, and I know that by the end of the day I've got to have done all 3 of them, okay, because then I know I've had over 2 litres of water. So that's part of the other sort of planning thing, was drink the first bottle of water, refill that, and fill another one, and then know that they've both got to be gone before I go to bed, preferably before tea time, as I mentioned before, so it's not up all night having a wee. The evening meals, I would plan them on a Sunday. I would do the shopping, supermarket shop, order online. That was great for me because I eat with my eyes, and if I actually was going to the supermarket, it'd be, oh, that looks nice, oh, that looks nice, and I'd drift off. On the online shop, it's so much easier just to look at your list and do it. Search for tomatoes, add to basket, search for bananas, add to basket, search for whatever, add to basket. It kept me much more focused rather than going, ooh, around the shop, okay? And it saves my time as well. You know, I'm a busy person with a full-time job and kids and stuff. I don't want to be fannying around going around the shop. So yeah, it makes life easier. The other thing for the day-to-day and the planning thing for every day was to never go hungry. Never go more than a couple of hours without eating. When I lost all my weight, people used to say, you must eat nothing. I'd be like, no, I eat 6 times a day, mate. Like 6 times a day. I have breakfast, I have a mid-morning snack, I have lunchtime, I have a mid-afternoon snack, I have my tea, and I have a supper every time. And part of the planning was planning them in as well. Planning in my snacks and buying the food I needed for them. Snacks. Oh. Some people like boiled eggs. I don't like them. I can't deal with the texture of egg white. It just makes me feel ill. Anyway. So things that I do like. I like date bites, but I don't always make them because they do require effort to make. And again, timing. If I don't have the time, crab sticks are marvellous. Love them. You know, the little fish sticks, dip them in vinegar. They're fabulous for a quick snack. Cooked chicken. I often buy a load of chicken that I'm going to have for my main meals, but I buy a second one as well and just boil it all up in some stock or in the slow cooker, and then shred it and portion it up into little Tupperwares. Again, this is a Sunday job, and then I've always got cooked chicken that I can just go to and eat, and it's a damn sight cheaper to do that than it is to buy this ready cooked chicken like the Fridge stuff. Honestly, do it yourself. So it doesn't take long. You shove it in a slow cooker at the weekend and then portion it up, and that's you for the week. It's great. Other things I like to bake as snacks: blueberry muffins. I love a blueberry muffin, and banana bread. I've got some great recipes for banana bread. So I make those, and then again just slice them up and they're all there ready. You can just go and get one whenever you feel peckish. So snacks are key as part of the planning. Don't allow yourself to go hungry, because when you go hungry, that's when I'm saying when you might have better willpower than me, but when I go and I go rooting, yeah, so we don't want that. Now, some of the stuff that I'm saying to you here, guys, is also in these fat loss trainings, all right? So there is some fat loss training that you can totally get sent over to you. Just click and get it sent, all right? So if you're thinking, I'm never going to remember all this, get this stuff sent over to you. It'll help you to remember. But yeah, morning routine and planning and getting my head around nutrition. Those were the first 2 things. Scrolling. The third thing that I had to get my head around, the third part of my routine, routine was moving more, okay? Just working out a way to move more and how that was going to fit into my day, yeah? So I wanted to increase my steps, but I work in a job where I sit all day at a computer, all right? So that was always going to be tricky, and it took quite a while to fathom out how I could get that into my routine. So it became a case of, right, when I walk to the toilet, take lots of little steps. When I boil the kettle, march on the spot, okay? Little things like this. The other thing, go out for a walk. Go out for a walk at lunchtime, because I knew I was having my soup and my roll, which is dead easy, and it only takes like 3 minutes to zap soup in the microwave, and the rolls were already made from the Sunday. That basically meant that my eating time in my 30-minute lunch was 5 minutes, yeah? So I could totally go for a 20-minute walk as well in my lunch break, because I'd worked a plan for my dinners, okay? So that really helped me as well. Evenings, walking on the spot whilst watching Pointless. I do love a bit of Pointless. I did cut out some of the more meaningless scrolling and telly watching. But again, if you do want to watch something on the telly, I used to stand and hula hoop and watch telly. I can't in this house, it's too small, but in my old house, I used to stand and hula hoop whilst watching telly, because you actually get steps doing this because your arms are moving. So yeah. Oh, and if you can't hula hoop, get a bigger hoop. Honestly, it sounds ridiculous, but the bigger the hoop, the easier it is to hula hoop. But yeah, anyway. Yes, so that's how I increase my steps. But then, exercise as well. Honestly, find stuff that you enjoy doing. That's the trick to moving more, is to do stuff that you enjoy. Nobody does stuff that makes them miserable, let's face it. So I go dancing once a week. I love dancing. So for me, dancing once a week. I'm also learning to garden, so I go gardening once a week now as well. That's 2 lots of exercise that I do. You never say never. If you'd have said to me a little while ago, you'll also be running and you'll also be weight training, I'd have said, don't be ridiculous. But I actually really enjoy both of those things now, okay? And resistance training as we get older, a little bit of lifting something with a bit of weight behind it, or moving our body, using our body weight, so important for the bones, guys. It really is. But anyway, I digress. So last things last, okay? Evening routine, bedtime routine. So we've kind of had the morning routine, we've got the plan through the day for nutrition and for moving, and then it's about getting yourself some decent sleep. Decent sleep is so important. Now, this is something that for me, I've never struggled with. I love my sleep. My mother always told me, you're either cold, tired, hungry, or a combination of the 3, and she's not wrong. Tired is used to be a go-to setting, to be honest with you. So sleep's something I've never struggled with. But what else do I do on my nighttime routine? Well, I fill up the bottle of water and put it at the side of the bed so it's there ready for the morning. If I'm going to be going out for a run or going to the gym or something in the morning, I get my exercise clothes out when I put them to bed and stick them at the side of the bed. I write in my journal and I put anything in that needs to come out of my brain to get it brain dumped on paper so that I can deal with it tomorrow, or just to stop me from ruminating about it. I'll even put little notes in there for the following day. If I've thought, I must remember so-and-so tomorrow, that goes in the journal as well, because when I look at my journal in the morning, it's all there as a prompt. Yeah, that's my little nighttime routine, guys, and it works for me. Also, if ever I do have trouble getting over to sleep, honestly, guided meditations on YouTube, I find them really boring, and so they send me asleep in no time. So I'm sure that's not what they're supposed to do, but they just bore me. They bore me to sleep, so that works. So read something boring, maybe. That works for me anyway, in terms of getting good sleep hygiene and getting off to sleep. Now, you may have noticed that throughout all of this, I kept mentioning planning. And honestly, for me, planning's the most important thing. I don't know about you, but I'm a very busy person. Do you remember the adverts? Do you remember the old, was it British Gas adverts, where you used to get that little tortoise and he used to go, I'm a very busy person? That's me, okay? Planning is key when you are busy. So working out that morning routine that works, working out the evening routine that works, and working out a plan for your meals and to your movement through the week on a day-to-day basis. Those little changes that work for you, not my plan, your plan that works for you, the things that you can keep going with, that is how you have a success, and that is how you maintain it and you keep at it. You do things that you enjoy and that are quite easy to just keep repeating over and over and over again. Now, that said, it can get tedious if we don't track. And this is the last thing I just want to mention to you. Tracking. Making a little little note of where you started from and where you are now, because that gives you a reason to celebrate. So whether it's taking photographs, hideous I know when we first start, but then taking them every 2 weeks and looking at the difference and seeing it and going, oh, look at that, bit less bingo wing or whatever it is, yeah. Whether it's doing measurements in terms of weight loss, whether it's noticing that you ran for 3 whole minutes today, and then like in 2 months time noticing that you were able to run for 5 whole minutes, yeah. Whether it's noticing that you've gone from doing sitting up and down off your chair to doing an actual like proper squat, whether it's the fact that you started off doing bicep curls with 2 tins of beans out of the cupboards, but now you've actually had to go out and buy yourself some 1 kilogram weights. I mean, all of these things, if you make a note of where you started, and you can use your journal for this, then make a note of when things get better or progress, or you're moving, like, you know, then make a note of when things improve and when you make changes and when you notice, oh, do you know what, that skirt that used to be a bit tight is a little bit loose today. Make a note of that, and don't just make a note of it, guys, celebrate it. Tell somebody, go, guess what? Because the more you celebrate the wins, the more you are going to want more of them, and the more you're going to stick to your routine, even if it can at times be a little bit tedious. You scroll down. So in summary, plan. Planning is so important. Have a morning routine, have an evening routine, and have a plan for through the day that works for you, that is things that you can do and keep doing, and things that you enjoy, because that is key. Yeah, nail your routines and make plenty of notes about where you are, where you want to be, and every little win that you have on your way there, and celebrate the chuff out of those wins. Okay, little changes that you can sustain over a long period of time add up. That's the key. That is the key to long-term sustainable change. It's little changes made over time that you can keep going with. Now, if you've heard all this and thought, do you know what she says makes sense, click on the video that's popped up. Have a little click. 8 pillars of sustainable weight loss. Do you know what? Watch it. See if you're interested. It'll give you some ideas. Yeah. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get you get to listen to me waffle a bit more if I haven't done your head in completely. All right. But just click on the link, watch the video, click on subscribe. I'll give you some more hints and tips, and good luck. You've got this.